Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the information you've gathered and, well, we really dig into it for you. We pull out the important bits, the surprising details, basically the stuff you need to know quickly.
Exactly. And today, we're looking at staying cool. Specifically, 2 air conditioners you pointed us to on Amazon.in.
That's right, 2 brand new 2025 models. There's the Panasonic 1.0-ton 5-star premium Wi-Fi inverter smart split AC.
And the LG 1-ton 4-star DUAL inverter split AC, also the 2025 model.
And the sources we've got are those Amazon listings themselves. So specs, features, warranty info.
And crucially, customer reviews. Yeah. Lots of them. The good, the bad, the real-world experiences.
So our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out the key differences, the similarities between these 2 ACs, and really try to understand what it's like to own one based on what actual buyers are saying.
Okay, sounds good. Where should we start? Panasonic first.
Yeah, let's dive into the Panasonic. What are the headline specs?
All right, so it's a 1.0-ton unit. They suggest it's good for small rooms, maybe 90 to 120 square feet roughly. Mm-hmm. And the big one is the 5-star energy rating. The listed annual energy consumption is about 524 kilowatt hours, and it has an ICER value of 5.10.
5.10, that's pretty high, isn't it? Should be quite efficient.
Yeah, higher is definitely better for ICER. Mm-hmm. So on paper, it looks good for, keeping the electricity bill down.
Makes sense. And it's not just about cooling efficiently, it's a smart AC.
That's right. It's Wi-Fi enabled, works with voice commands, Alexa, Google Home, the usual suspects. But what's interesting is they're calling it India's first Matter-enabled room air conditioner. Matter.
Okay, that's that new standard trying to get all the different smart home gadgets to talk to each other properly.
Exactly. It's all about interoperability. So if you're building a smart home, that could be, well, a significant feature. Makes things potentially much smoother down the line.
Right, so potentially more future-proof in a mixed device house. What about the actual cooling tech itself?
It's got what they call 7-in-1 convertible modes, along with True AI.
True AI. What does that mean in practice?
Well, the listing isn't super detailed, but likely it means it uses sensors and algorithms to learn your habits and adjust cooling based on things like maybe if people are in the room, the temperature changes, that sort of thing, right. Adapting automatically.
Okay. Adaptive cooling and the core component.
Copper condenser coil, which is generally seen as good for performance and durability. And they mentioned Shield Blue Plus protection on, it sounds like an anti-corrosion coating.
Always good to have extra protection, especially on coils. What about air quality? That's a big focus these days.
Yep, it includes a PM.1 filter, claims to catch those really fine dust particles for air purification.
PM.1, okay. And airflow.
It is a 4-way swing, so the air moves up, down, left, right, distributing better. Also, stabilizer-free operation within a pretty wide voltage range, 100 to 290 volts.
Useful if your power fluctuates.
Definitely. And it has a hidden temperature display for a cleaner look. Uses the R32 refrigerant.
Which is the more environmentally friendly one, right?
Correct. So spec-wise, it ticks a lot of boxes, looks quite feature-rich.
It really does. But the million-dollar question, what are people who actually bought it saying? Do the reviews match the specs?
The reviews. As usual, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Let's start with the positives.
Okay.
Lots of users praise the cooling performance. They say it chills the room quickly, effectively.
Yeah.
Energy efficiency also gets mentioned quite a bit, people reporting lower electricity bills.
That 5-star rating paying off, it seems.
Seems like it for many, yeah. And the smart features, the Wi-Fi app control, the voice assistant stuff, generally, people seem happy with how that works.
Okay, strong cooling, efficient, smart features work. Sounds good so far. But you said mixed bag. What's the other side?
Well, there's some inconsistency reported. A few people had issues with the Wi-Fi module, maybe connectivity problems. But the really big variable seems to be installation.
Installation. The classic appliance headache.
Exactly. Some reviews say it was smooth, professional. Others report, well, a poor experience, and specifically high costs. Sometimes surprisingly high.
Higher than the standard installation fee, they quote.
Oh yeah. We'll get into specifics in a sec. Noise levels also seem inconsistent. Some say it's quiet. Others complain about a noisy outdoor unit.
Okay. Any other recurring complaints?
A smaller one, but it pops up. The remote control. People wish it had a backlight. And apparently, turning the temperature display completely off isn't straightforward from the remote.
Little usability things. But back to installation costs, you said surprisingly high. Any examples?
Definitely. Several reviewers mentioned this. One person detailed cost hitting 7,000 rupees or even more. That included extra piping, wiring, maybe an outdoor stand, things not covered in the basic install fee.
Wow, that's a significant extra cost compared to the listed INR 1,200 plus tax.
Absolutely. It can really change the total cost of ownership.
Yeah.
Another user mentioned the Mirai app, the Panasonic Smart app. Took a while to connect properly initially.
Okay, so maybe some initial setup friction there.
And one review reported the AC motor getting noisy and the outdoor unit vibrating after just a few months. That's obviously a concern.
Yeah, you don't want issues cropping up that quickly.
But on the flip side, someone specifically called out the Matter support as a positive. So tech-savvy users are noticing that. It really highlights how the service part installation, mainly, can be a real wild card when you buy appliances like this online.
It does sound like the experience depends heavily on the local installation team you happen to get. So what about backup if things do go wrong? Warranty?
Okay, standard warranty is 1 year, comprehensive on the whole product, then an extra 4 years specifically on the PCB, the circuit board, and the motor, and then 9 years, quite long, on the compressor.
That seems pretty decent, especially on the compressor, delivery and installation.
Delivery is free and scheduled. Installation is paid listed as INR 1200 plus GST, but as we saw, extras can add up. They also offer a 10-day replacement window via Panasonic if there's a defect out of the box.
And can you buy extra protection, extended warranties?
Yes, there are options mentioned like a Panasonic Care and Assist plan, and also third-party ones like ACO Extended Warranty seem to be available through Amazon.
What do those typically cover?
The Panasonic plan mentions things like cashless repairs, covering parts and labor, and interestingly, truly unlimited repairs up to the insured value. ACO plans usually cover accidental damage, electrical failures, things beyond standard manufacturing defects.
Okay, so options are there if you want more peace of mind. How do you claim?
Usually initiated through your Amazon account, which then directs you to the right channel, whether it's Panasonic directly or ACO.
Got it. Okay, that gives us a really good picture of the Panasonic. Shall we switch gears and look at the LG now?
Let's do it. The LG 1-ton DUAL inverter AC.
Right away, the star rating is different. This one's a 4-star.
Correct. So slightly less efficient on paper than the Panasonic. Its annual energy consumption is listed around 572 units, and the iSeer is 4.70.
Still decent, but noticeably lower than the Panasonic's 5.9 capacity.
Also 1 ton. LG suggests it's suitable for rooms up to 110 square feet, so very similar target room size.
Okay. And what's LG's headline technology here? Panasonic had Matter and True AI.
LG focuses on their DUAL inverter compressor technology. They also heavily promote its AI convertible 6-in-1 feature.
AI again, but 6-in-1. Different modes, I assume.
Yeah, suggests different cooling capacity steps you can choose, probably controlled by AI to optimize based on conditions or your settings. They also mention a VIRAT mode.
VIRAT mode. Sounds powerful.
It's marketed for faster cooling, like a power chill function, essentially.
Gotcha. And the build components.
Also a copper condenser coil, similar to the Panasonic.
Yeah.
But LG adds their Ocean Black protection.
Ocean Black? Sounds like serious anti-corrosion tech.
That's the idea. They claim it enhances durability, especially against humidity, maybe salty air if you're near the coast.
Makes sense. What else is in the feature list for the LG?
It has an HD filter, and they mention antivirus protection on it.
Interesting. Antiviral filter.
Yeah. Also, 4-way swing for airflow. Stabilizer-free operation again, though the voltage range is slightly narrower, 120 to 290 volts.
Still covers most typical fluctuations, though.
It should do. It has a magic display, basically an LED display on the unit itself for temperature, timer, and a feature called low gas detection.
Oh, that could be useful. Alerts you if the refrigerant is leaking.
Presumably, yeah. Could prevent damage or inefficient running. And like the Panasonic, it uses the R32 refrigerant.
Good. Okay, so again, a solid feature set, slightly different focus perhaps. How does it fare in the customer reviews? Similar story to Panasonic.
Very similar patterns, actually. On the positive side, many users seem generally happy with the performance. Quiet operation is frequently mentioned as a plus.
Quiet is always good for an AC.
Definitely. Energy efficiency also gets positive mentions, some people reporting savings, even with the 4-star rating. And the 4-way swing seems effective for people.
Okay. And the downsides, where do people have issues?
Again, cooling effectiveness gets mixed comments. Some say it's great, cools fast. Others felt it took a bit longer. One review specifically said maybe 15 minutes to get the room cool.
Okay, some variability there. And I'm guessing installation.
You guessed it. Very inconsistent feedback. Some had good experiences, professional installers, but many reviews mention high costs and poor service quality during installation.
It really sounds like the Achilles heel for both these brands, based on the reviews.
It certainly seems to be a major point of friction. Build quality and long-term performance also get mixed mentions for the LG. Some praise it, others report defects or service issues down the line.
Any specific examples from the LG reviews that stood out? Like the high cost examples for Panasonic?
Yes, installation costs were a very frequent complaint for the LG too. Figures like INR 3,000, 4,000, sometimes more, were mentioned for extras like sans, wiring, piping.
So similar range of extra costs potentially.
Seems like it. One quite concerning review mentioned a 2023 model, so fairly recent, developing cooling coil leakages. That raises a flag about potential durability, perhaps.
Coil leaks are never good.
No. And another user gave a very detailed negative account of the installation, claiming overcharging, unprofessional work, just a bad experience overall.
Doesn't inspire confidence in the service network, does it?
It makes you cautious, for sure. And interestingly, just like the Panasonic, the LG remote also got criticized by some users for not having a backlight.
It's almost funny. Both brands, new 2025 models, and no backlight on the remote. Seems like such an easy win they both missed.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Small thing, but clearly annoying for users in the dark.
Okay, so what's the warranty situation with LG? And extended options?
LG offers 1 year comprehensive on the product, then 5 years on the PCB and motor, slightly less than Panasonic's extra 4, making it 5 total, and 10 years on the compressor, slightly longer than Panasonic's 9 total.
Interesting trade-off there, PCD versus compressor coverage duration.
Exactly. One key thing they note is free gas charging is only during that first comprehensive year.
Good to know. Installation costs.
Quoted base cost is INR 1,199 plus GST, almost identical to Panasonic, and also a 10-day brand replacement policy.
And extended plans.
Yes, they offer LG Best Care AMC plans, gold level mentioned, for 1 or 2 years. And again, the ACO Total Protection Plan is likely available via Amazon.
What do the LG plans cover?
The LG AMC Gold Plan details sound pretty comprehensive. Parts and labor, cashless repairs, unlimited repairs during the term, free pickup drop if needed, and genuine LG parts guaranteed.
Sounds reassuring. And ACO.
Similar to before, likely focused on accidental damage, electrical failure protection, broader coverage beyond just defects. Claiming would be through LG or ACO, depending on the plan.
Okay, we've really unpacked both of them now. Let's try and pull it all together.
Yeah.
Comparing the Panasonic and the LG side by side, what are the absolute key takeaways?
Well, the most obvious difference is the star rating. Panasonic's 5-star versus LG's 4-star. That's a clear efficiency difference on paper.
Right, and tech focus.
Panasonic pushes the Matter integration for smart homes. LG highlights its AI convertible 6-in-1 modes and that VRAT fast cooling. Different angles on smart and flexible cooling.
But fundamentally, they're pretty similar beasts, aren't they?
In many ways, yes. Both are 1-ton units for similar small rooms. Pricing seems to be in the same ballpark based on the liftings. Copper coils, R32 gas, 4-way swing, lots of overlap.
And the review themes.
That's the striking similarity. For both brands, the pattern is generally okay to good feedback on the actual cooling and features, but significant inconsistency and concern voiced about the installation process, both the quality of the work and the final cost.
So you might get a great AC unit, but the initial experience could be anywhere from smooth to really quite bad and potentially expensive.
Precisely. It seems less about the inherent quality of the machines themselves sometimes, and more about the variability of the service network that supports them.
And that shared remote control complaint is just notable.
It is a small, tangible point of shared user frustration. And positively, it's good they both use the R32 refrigerant.
Okay, so wrapping this up. Both the Panasonic and the LG seem like capable ACs for small spaces, offering modern features. But that installation lottery is a real factor for both.
Yeah, this deep dive, pulling from those Amazon listings and reviews, really underscores that. The product itself is only part of the story.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. Given the similar core features and these very mixed experiences, especially around installation for both brands, what should you really prioritize when choosing? Maybe it's less about chasing that extra star rating point or the fanciest AI name.
And perhaps more about doing some local homework, checking reviews for service quality in your specific city for both Panasonic and LG. Or maybe getting crystal clear written quotes for the total installation cost, including any potential extras, before you hit that buy button. Something to think about.